The price of turkey jumped more than 20% from last year. But check out how the Department of Agriculture is spinning things, writing in a memo that Russia's war on Ukraine and drought across the United States are pushing up the price of Thanksgiving staples. But the White House's own data shows that inflation has been skyrocketing since President Biden took office. And that's well before the war on Ukraine even started. But you may remember, we've heard this talking point before.
Putin's war is already hurting American families at the gas pump.
70% of the increase in prices in March came from Putin's price hike.
The second big reason for inflation is Vladimir Putin. Not a joke. The Putin price hike. Putin's price hike. Every kitchen table cost is going to go up, not down. It's inching up because of what the Russians and the Saudis just did. Inflation is a worldwide problem right now because of a war in Iraq and the impact on oil and what Russia's doing.
Cheryl, I can't keep up with the whiplash because inflation is a worldwide problem there, but remember he said it was a high-class problem. He then blamed the Saudis, but we went begging them for oil, and all I know is that every time I pump gas, I see a sticker that has his face on it that says, I did this, and you know what, that's right.
Inflation was building and building month to month after he took office, before Vladimir Putin ever set foot or put one troop into Ukraine. Just to be clear, to look at the calendar here. Number two, OPEC. This is a Saudi problem, and this is also a domestic drilling problem that we have. Nobody wants to go out and drill for new oil. The leases have been suspended, and they need to undo that. I mean, I could go on and on about all the problems, but this is all disingenuous what the president is saying. We know that. As for the Thanksgiving table and those prices, that's a whole nother wall of worry that we're now climbing because of all the stimulus spending that came out underneath the Biden administration. So don't look here, look here.
Jimmy, one of the worst colleagues you could ever have, one of the worst employees, is someone whose fault it never is. Oh, it's because of this, it's because of this, it's because of this. And that is the president, who is permanently in that position, whose salary, again, we pay.
Of course, like anybody who actually believes that it's Putin's price hike, we should be taking their car keys now. They're clearly drinking before the Thanksgiving dinner has even started, which is no way to get into town. His own Fed chair, Jerome Powell, has testified that inflation was going up for 14 straight months before Putin invaded Ukraine. Now, let's be clear, that has exacerbated things. But if we are to believe it's the root of all economic evil, we should be doing something to end it, instead of Venmoing Zelensky more money that we don't have. There's no effort here to find an off-ramp, and that's the biggest issue we have. We have an administration that has more empathy for themselves than for the people, okay? The people are suffering. Inflation. We're not changing course. We're not stopping spending. We're not boosting production. We're just, as Emily said, passing the buck, and I don't like it.
That's right. And I'm actually surprised, Julie, on the list, the GOP and ordinary Americans aren't on the list, because usually he blames us as well for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's amazing that Putin was able to somehow infect 8 million turkeys with avian influenza. I mean, this man has some serious influence. But I mean, that's the reason. That is one of the big reasons why we've got a turkey shortage. There are 8 million of those birds that unfortunately were killed because of avian influenza in this country. But to blame Putin for the rise in prices of our turkeys is bad enough. To blame them for inflation, again, like Cheryl says, is bad enough. And then the gas prices, I mean, the domestic drilling, we all know, we all live here, we are Americans, we do read. I mean, I don't know if he thinks that we're just turning a blind eye to our problems the same way the administration does, but to blame Putin for turkey shortages and turkey prices going up is absolutely, I've heard it all.
He gave it a shot. It was that, you know, in football, the term is you throw a Hail Mary. They just threw a Hail Mary. Like, I don't know, Putin, we got nothing.
I don't even think that's a Hail Mary. I think that's just a failed play.
It's a fail Mary.
It's a fail Mary. And Kaylee, you know, this is the USDA coming out with this as well. The agencies have been infected, to use Julie's word, with this administration's refusal to accept a responsibility and acknowledge the real pain and suffering that Americans feel on a daily basis. They've made their changes. They've shortened their grocery list and said, you know, we're not going to do this side this year. We're not going to do this traditional meal. We're going to keep the turkey smaller, whatever it is.
You're buying chicken.
Real decisions exactly that have impacted them, and yet it's not happening, or it's Putin's fault.
Right. And meanwhile, there are these things called facts, and Biden may not like them, but they do exist and they are real. And when he came into office, inflation was 1.5%. 4%. That is a very small number. It is now 7.7%. Well, what happened in the intervening 2 years? Could it have been $4.8 trillion in government spending? Oh, wait, yes, I think so. Because to Cheryl's point, to put an exact date on it, war in Ukraine happens in February of 2022. Inflation started rising in February of 2021. So how is there a retroactive Putin effect that for 12 months, when Biden couldn't read the tea leaves on Putin until right before the invasion, everyone else was, and it was affecting our inflation numbers? I don't believe that. Americans don't believe that, but, you know, I guess Biden does. He's 80 now.
Yeah, it only exists in the gaslighting that this administration continues to put out, right?
Yep.
In their minds, that actually takes place. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.